What I realized for myself is that if the mind is not in line with what you're asking the body to do, that's what's going to be the self-sabotager. And so many people say, I don't know why I did this, or I don't know why I didn't go for the job, or don't know why I procrastinate, or you can fill in the blank. And so the top down, inside out really relies on the fact that we are going to align this brain, this body, and your emotions, your belief systems.
Welcome to the Health Conscious Living Podcast.
Welcome to the Health Conscious Living Podcast. I'm Dr. Gayle Myers, and today's special guest is Lisa Charles. Lisa is an award-winning federal prosecutor turned singer-actress, now a wellness expert, certified health coach, consultant, and professional speaker. She is the CEO of Embrace Your Fitness. As a brain, body, and belief alignment specialist, her book, Yes, Commit, Do, Live, inspires motivation, action, and life-changing results. Welcome, Lisa.
Oh, thank you so much, Gayle. I'm so happy to be here and really having a chance to delve into a very personal and exciting topic.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's so exciting for me to have you here because you're an inspiration. I am loving your book and I can't wait to share it. Tell us about your healing journey and how you reached your yes.
Yeah, I love the question. And I always say, a lot of people start at the end of their story. But I think it's really important for people to know that we're all the same. And a lot of our strengths and our weaknesses, we've shared commonality. And for me, the heart of my story really starts when I was a very young girl. I had a view of my life. My nickname was Mary Sunshine. I saw myself as just, those early years, I can just think about all the art I used to do and the running. And what I loved was on my street, we used to play games. It was all the neighborhood kids would come out. And I was one of the only children that had a nickname. And it was Mac. And I would run down the hill and they would say, Mac, Mac, Mac. And everyone would be laughing. I'd be laughing until one day I wasn't laughing. I was sitting in a car with my parents, and across on the opposite side of the road, I saw this massive truck. And on the front of the truck was written the words Mac, big old bulldog. And it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I can say in that moment, I realized that the kids that I thought were so accepting and loving and kind and all were really making fun of me, and they were laughing at me, not with me. And everything really transitioned for me. And that was age 10. I started wearing very baggy clothes. I realized for the first time that I was overweight. Like I never really thought of myself that way, but I saw myself through the lens of someone else. And I began to define myself what I call by the it. Diet was the next thing to do. I was the digits on a scale. And I went on my first diet at age 10, 2 bananas a day and a gallon of water. And I lost weight. And everyone said, wow, that's so great. You look great. And I have this reinforcement that if you are lower on the scale, people like and love you and accept you. If you're higher in the scale, you're meant to be lonely and it isolates you. And I say that because for the next 30 years, I spent on that part of my life kind of in a prison, up and down the scale, really not really understanding why I couldn't keep it off or why it was so hard to take it off at different times and having the certain emotions that would be attached with it. And people call it something as light as yo-yo dieting, but I don't say that because yo-yos are fun and they're toys, and there's nothing great about going up and down the scale. What I realized in this is that I had to not only learn how to step on the other side of this way of thinking, but I had to be able to step and stay on the other side. And that is what brought me to really fundamentally, how do you do it? I learned it for myself without dieting. I did a 3-step process. I made it simple. I made it fun. I made it doable for myself and therefore doable for others. And, those 3 words, which I say, yes, commit, do, live. It's my book. It's what I talk about, is the key to locking me or taking me out of the prison I put myself in.
Tell us about your top down and inside out approach, because that's where
Yeah.
it sounds like you're explaining that to us in another way.
Yes. Yeah. So what I realized for myself and sharing the story with you earlier is that if the mind is not in line with what you're asking the body to do, that's what's going to be the self-sabotager. And so many people say, I don't know why I just was on a diet. I don't know why I did this, or I don't know why I didn't go for the job, or don't know why I procrastinate, or you can fill in the blank. People have some pocket. And so the top down, inside out really relies on the fact that we are going to align this brain, this body, and your emotions, your belief systems. We're going to align them as one because we are one person. And you're going to be one person when you're at work, with family, on your own. It doesn't matter. It's not compartmentalized pieces of your life. And so once you start to see it as this holistic, most beautiful process that you can be in, then it becomes down to, I call it the healthy healing habits. These little small habits that you do that are going to enrich you. One feeds off of the other. So for instance, when you say like the brain, something, now this is obviously we're not separate, but there are some things that really the brain just needs sleep. So one of small little habit is fixing some aspects of how you sleep. That's going to bleed into the body. Body needs movement. It just wants movement. It really needs movement. Notice I didn't say exercise. I didn't say certain number of hours of it. If you think about it along the lines of, boy, my body thrives in movement. What kind of movement will I do today? And I'm going to guarantee myself that I'm going to do at least 10 minutes of active movement a day, because anybody, I don't care what your job is, everybody has 10 minutes to put aside for this. 10 minutes done consistently, far better results than the person that comes in and says, I'm doing an hour and a half this one day. Because the body is going to get so much enrichment from the 10 minutes done consistently. But also what you're doing is you're giving your body the understanding that, wow, you really mean it. You really want me to do something for you, and you're showing up. So I'm going to start to show up. So you'll start to feeling you have more energy. You show up as a better person, emotionally, mentally, because you're showing up for your body physically. So it's like these small things. So I always say, give me 10, even if you can't give me 10, you had 5 before you went to bed. So there's never a day that you don't do it. Every time you do it, and every week, it's like your body just really responds to the honesty of you and your commitment. So that sleep, we can talk about eating, but I love that concept of every single thing you're doing. It's on this line of, well, it's just something that's really great for me. And it makes me feel good.
It's nourishing.
Yeah.
So it isn't just about food, you're nourishing your life. You're nourishing your life with laughter, with kindness, with connection. But the biggest connection of all is that soul to body connection, the connection of you to you. And your body's like, yes. That's the other side of the yes, is when the body says yes back.
And it loves it. And I always think it's like going back to where you were a baby in the womb before any. We were all whole in that way. The yes, the need and the response, and everyone's life is a little different, and some people got very separated from it, and a lot of it is just coming back. You said something really beautiful earlier, which I loved, which is stopping to listen, because this body is speaking to us. I believe we have 2 brains, and the brain in the gut area and the brain up here, and they are speaking to us all the time. And letting us know what's needed, letting us know when we're satisfied, um, you know, giving us an idea of what we want, when we want it, how we want it, by what air that we breathe, the water we drink, the food that nourishes us. And that stopping and listening was a key part of my journey, a key part of that top down, inside out. It was that I listened to my body. I listened to it on movement. I made sure that each movement I did was in tune all the way through. And which means along your lines, you have to stop and listen to what your body is saying. So if you're, a quick, fun exercise that I have anyone that I start to work with is putting their back up against the wall and going down very slowly into a wall sit, breathing very intentionally and feeling each muscle as it starts to activate. And when you get to a certain point, and you know where you are in terms of your knee issues or whatever, you stay there for a moment and you really allow the muscles to start to dance and sing, because that's what they do. And you breathe into, with intensity, where you feel them singing the most. You squeeze it. And I call it like, you feel it and you fire it up. And then you come back up and you make this new connection. So the brain's like, okay, wow, I felt these. It wasn't just my leg muscles. It was in a sequence. As you do that, you can start to call those muscles to work when you want them. Once you reconnect, make the connection again. And imagine doing this through every muscle in your body. Nice and slow, with breath, understanding. Now when you do movement like walking, or you're in a class, or you're dancing, you can start to really understand what movements, what muscles need to be worked, how to call them, how to fire them up, how to ease them off. You become really mastery of this amazing instrument. And you can play it like an instrument, like an orchestra.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love that. I can't wait to try it. I find a lot of times, well, especially in the evening at night, to start relaxing the muscles. So it's it's the reverse of what you're talking about. Oh, that muscle's tense. I need to relax that. I need
And
to
that's beautiful.
relax.
And you tense it up purposefully, and then feel with and tie it with the breath, that exhalation and the release of the muscle. And it's all these things that's brilliant, because you're just retraining your body to understand. For that, you do it at night, but think some people are listening and saying, wow, I'm in this real tense meeting. I'm in the meeting. I can tense certain muscles, breathe and exhale and let them go. And I don't care. I was always showing people, when I transitioned into the wellness space and created my business, I was in the hospital systems. And, one of the things that I love to do was working with nurses and doctors, administrators, because I felt they were giving so much and they were so stressed. And how could I come in and show them? Even I worked with some OR nurses, and even in the OR,
Yes.
that you can have moments where you can find, through this kind of use of muscle relaxation and breath work, just 30-second of peace, so that you can reset to do what you need to do and come back at it with more clarity for the next patient or whatever you're having. So it's a power that we have. Most people don't use it, but it's a power that has, transformational health benefits.
Absolutely. And it helps all the nerves to reset, to refire again, so that your muscles can work better. Your brain will work better. So those little moments of resets are key, because we have this tendency to push, push, push. And and it's our society. And we also have this concept that, we won't pay attention until it screams so loudly that we
Yes.
have to stop and take care of ourselves. And so I think your message and my message is, don't wait. Start now. You don't need to
Yes.
have a breakdown before you have a breakthrough. You can
That's
step into your wellness right this minute. And you're giving us amazing tips that really are so actionable that it's like take one thing, like you said, and then you do the next thing, and there you build your momentum, and the body responds.
and you enjoy the process.
Yes,
So I lost over 77 pounds
amazing.
and I did it. But this time around, when I did it, it was many years ago, I decided two things. I wouldn't deprive myself. Like I wouldn't say, okay, I won't buy a dress until I lose 25 pounds, or I won't go out with friends until I do X. What I said was I was going to honor the changes that my body made the whole time, really celebrate them. I would find the things I love to do. And so the movements that please me, I wasn't just going to do a movement because someone said, get on the treadmill. No, I wanted to find things that I like to do. So I knew that they would incorporate into my life. And then some of those things, I wouldn't necessarily make it exercise moments. I'd make it just fun moments with friends, if we're walking, going bike riding, for swimming. These are wonderful things for your body, but they're also just wonderful things in general because it brings you in community. So I think that framework really changed. And I just let my body help to dictate where it wanted to land, where it felt comfortable, where I felt good, and I didn't have to obsess in any way, shape, or form.
What you're giving us here is pure gold, because what you're saying is become a playmate with your body, not a drill sergeant. And so
Yes.
much of the time we've been drill sergeants. Like you said, I won't buy that dress until I've lost 25 pounds. It's not realistic, and it's not loving, and it's not fun. But when you say, wow, I'm going to enjoy today, I'm going to go take this walk with my friend and have some, a really meaningful conversation, and we're moving at the same time.
Yes.
So much creativity happens when you're moving and because of it. And then you nourish your body in a way that is loving. It's a friend having a meal with a friend. So
Oh, I love
when we
Yes.
befriend ourselves, then we become our best friend, our best ally, and our playmate.
Yes.
So, Lisa, as we finish up, what three things would you like to share with the audience?
Yes. I think the biggest thing is that your roadmap forward is really very simple. And I want you to know that it doesn't have to be complicated. I want you to know that it can be fun. It can be ageless in mind, body, and spirit. And if you think of anything, I want you to think of commit, do, live. I want those words to be in your mind when you are embarking on doing something. You have to commit to it with compassion for yourself. You have to do. The do is so important to unlocking the freedom for you to move. It's the actions that you take. And the live means you just take those principles and you live them boldly, and you live them with all passion, and you live them with purpose. And these three things is what's going to build that resilience in your body. It's going to build that resilience in your life. And it's just going to put you on the plane to living the life that you were put here to live.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Lisa, how can people reach you and find you on social media?
Yeah. So, my website is Yes Coach Lisa. I help you find your true yeses. So yescoachlisa.com. And then I'm Lisa Embrace Fitness on Instagram. And I always say this for certain audiences, because this is my business number. I'm going to give you my number. I love people to text me. And if you have a question or you have something else or you want to hear more about anything, I am open to a text. Your community is my community. So my number is 973-704-2214. And I welcome any questions that anyone may have.
Thank you. Thank you. What incredible guest you've been today. What an honor.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to work with me for more insight, go to my website and book a private session. And check out my latest transformational meditation. Have a blessed day.